Hi, I'm Jamie Pedersen. I'm your state senator for the 43rd Legislative District. After 7 years in the State House, I moved over in December to be a member of the State Senate, and I'm very proud to represent the district here. It's a really busy and exciting time in Olympia because we have hundreds of bills and a budget that we're starting to work on, and so I'm very much engaged in trying to advance the interests of people in our district. The Senate Democratic Caucus made me the ranking member on the Health Care Committee, so I'm the lead Democrat for those issues. I'm also serving on the Law and Justice Committee, where I came after 5 years of having chaired the House Judiciary Committee, and I serve on the Trade and Economic Development Committee. Well, in the Healthcare Committee, the big issue that we're dealing with this session is how to reconcile the two voter initiatives on marijuana, the medical marijuana initiative that passed 14 years ago and the recreational marijuana initiative that the voters passed in 2012. The federal government has warned us that it will not permit implementation of Initiative 502 if we don't do something to regulate the medical marijuana market. And so we're working very hard to balance the needs of the patients who rely on medical marijuana and have that as an established part of their treatment, and the need to comply with the federal government's directives about regulating the market. We heard two bills in committee earlier this week, and we'll be trying to reconcile those and make them work for everybody as much as we can. Well, the tasks in front of the legislature are really clear. I think we have two big ones. One is to figure out how to provide full funding for basic education as the Constitution and the Supreme Court have commanded us. That would require substantial additional investment in basic education. And unfortunately, I'm not sure that there's going to be willingness among the Republicans to consider any revenue increases, which I think is what's necessary. So that's a problem on the education side. On the transportation side, that's the other big issue that's in front of us. The House passed a transportation revenue package and associated projects. There's been substantial negotiation over the last few months about that package. Those investments are absolutely critical in our district and include the money to finish the west end of the 520 bridge, money for transit to make sure that people can get to work downtown and elsewhere. And unfortunately, it's not clear that there are the votes within the Senate Republican caucus to bring a package even to the floor. So I hate to say it, but I think a lot of this session is going to be about providing contrasting priorities of the two parties for the voters so that in the fall of 2014, the voters can make a good decision about which group they want to be leading the government in the 2015 session. There are a few that I will have introduced 6 bills. I'll talk about just 2 of them, I guess. One, which is really my most important priority, is getting adequate funding for schools. In Seattle, and particularly in the 43rd and 46th districts, we have a real crisis because of the dramatic increases of enrollment in Seattle public schools. And so we need additional capital resources available to us to be able to provide seats for all of the kids who are coming to school. It's a great problem to have because the school system is flourishing. But on the other hand, at my son's kindergarten, there were 90 kids who showed up in 3 classrooms. They're really crowded. The school is at its physical capacity, and the problem just continues to get worse every year. So I've introduced a bill that will adjust the capital match formula so that Seattle is treated a little more fairly, and that districts around the state that need to make capital investments as we prepare for the class size reduction mandate of the McCleary decision will be able to provide spaces for all of those students. The other bill is a response to threats to our district's houseboat community on Lake Union. A few years ago, I did legislation that protected the floating homes, and we're proposing similar legislation for liveaboards and vessels that provide residences for people. So I'll be working with folks here in the Senate and in the House to make sure that that historic community that has been part of our district for so long has the legal protection that it needs. I'm really happy that we have a constant stream of folks who come down here to Olympia to visit me. You're always welcome to do that. You're also welcome to email me. That's really the best way to get in touch with me, and I hope that you take advantage of the opportunity. Let me know what the things are that you want me to be working on, and what your position is on the issues that are facing us down here in Olympia. Thank you very much for the chance to represent you.